Grok is the big news. So at about 8 p.m. Pacific time, XAI, Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company, they had a launch event for Grok 4 specifically. We've had Grok 3 for, gosh, was it January or February? For a few months now. And Grok is the artificial intelligence that is built into Twitter, or X. We should probably call it X at this point, and is funded by and built by Elon Musk. And he's spent a lot of money building data centers to basically play catch up with OpenAI, with Google, with Anthropic. So a huge amount of cash is being pumped into this catch up. And this is a tricky one because nobody has no opinion about Musk. So whatever I say, I'm going to annoy somebody. I know this going in. So here we go. Basically, it looks like the model itself is pretty good. It is scoring very well on all the benchmarks. Now, benchmarks are not everything, and increasingly benchmarks are becoming really difficult because all of the models are getting very good, extremely good. So finding increasingly more complex benchmarks to actually test in a comparable way is becoming difficult. If we look at something like artificial analysis, which is a website that shows you basically a rundown of all the different models and how they stack up against each other in terms of intelligence, I'm putting that in scare quotes, speed, price, context window, etc., etc. It stacks them all up against each other. They have just put Grok as the most intelligent model. So Grok has an artificial analysis intelligence index, wow, that rolls off the tongue, of 73, which is higher than the previous one, which is Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is 70, and then O4 Mini High, 70, DeepSeek R1, 68, etc., etc., going down from there. So this is an independent analysis. They run their own benchmarks, and they are saying this is a good model. This is a very smart model. It's relatively expensive to use right now on the API, but it's a very good model. We always see them expensive when they come out, and then those prices will drop. There's also people like Ethan Mollick, who is one of the experts over on Twitter. He's saying that it's impressive. It's a good model, and he's run his own benchmarks. He likes to do limericks and sonnets, etc. So using verbal tests to check the difference between these models. But he's saying it's an impressive model based on a few minutes of playing, but disappointing to see no mention at all of a model card. Red teaming yesterday's incident, which we talked about yesterday, and I'll refer back to, or how they're going to address the process issues they keep having. So earlier on in the week, Grok 3, the previous model before Grok 4, started to spout anti-Semitic and racist comments. Basically, it called itself Mecha Hitler at one point and really just went off the rails. XAI haven't really said very much about this. They've said publicly that they've adjusted some of their system prompts, but that's it. There's no kind of apology, no, oh, this is how we're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. There's no model card for this new Grok 4. So it seems to be swept under the rug, and then they're hoping that the launch of Grok 4 will get everyone's attention so we won't pay attention to the Mecha Hitler at the beginning of the week. It's a big red flag, and I think the problem is here, and Ethan points this out, where is it? I saw this was really good. Hard to imagine a lot of excitement inside companies for using the API at this stage, given the lack of transparency. I'm surprised they didn't take advantage of the eyeballs to offer some kind of post-mortem on yesterday, because they actually pulled down Grok 3. They took it offline because it was such a problem, then released Grok 4. Hey, don't pay any attention to what happened earlier in the week. We've got a new model, surprise. But I think Ethan's right here. No business is going to use Grok as their base model. Why would you use a model like Grok where there's a lack of transparency, there's a potential for turning into Mecha Hitler? Why would you use a model like that if you could use ChatGPT, which is reliable and has continued to work and hasn't had any problems like this? If you are running a business, you'd have to have a really strong argument for why would you use Grok over OpenAI, over Anthropic, over a Gemini model from Google. So I think from a business point of view, that stuff is disastrous for Grok. And even though it is currently the best model, it is scoring highest on the benchmarks, it's done really well in humanity's last exam, and artificial analysis and other third-party people are saying this is a great model. Even though it is currently the best model, a lot of people will not use it. A lot of serious businesses will not use it because of the connotations, the lack of transparency, and the feeling that it's a bit of a wild card. You want to go with something reliable. It's like that saying, nobody ever got fired for buying IBM. People back in the 70s, 80s, they would not buy interesting new computers from Compaq or Dell or Apple, for example, because IBM was considered the safe option. So if you worked in a corporate environment and you bought computers, you were a procurement officer for your industry, you would always buy IBM because you would not lose your job for that. Sure, it may not be the best thing on the market. Sure, it's not the most powerful. Doesn't matter. It was safe. And that's what enterprises need. So they are not going to use Grok for this reason, which means a huge revenue source for artificial intelligence models is the API, is business use, basically. That's been taken off the table because there's no reason to use Grok instead of OpenAI, even if it's smarter. So the other thing they have launched, which is eye-watering, is a $300 monthly subscription. So this is for users, consumers, people who want to pay for usage rather than via the API. We've seen high cost subscriptions before. We've got the $200 a month with ChatGPT. We've got the $200 a month max with Claude. And we have a Gemini $200 a month. The $200 a month has so far been the kind of the standard. You either have free, you have $20 a month, and you have $200 a month. That's been the model so far. But XAI have said, no, we're not going to do that. It's $300. We'll see how it goes. Maybe people will pay this. This is for Super Grok Heavy. Quite a name, isn't it? You couldn't just go with Pro or Premium. Super Grok Heavy. So it is, $300 a month. I'm not quite sure what you get with it. I assume just higher limitations. I used it on my Grok app. You can try out Super Grok, or you can try out the heavy mode. I didn't notice anything that much different. That said, as the models get smarter and smarter, we actually run into a problem where it's very hard for us, normal people, to test if the model is better, because a lot of us do not have PhD level problems. We have problems that, hey, can you help me write this email better? Or can you give me some feedback on my newsletter? All of the models are really good at that. So increasingly, that testing is being done at the top range for problems that are not problems most of us have. So this does bring up questions of, who is this for $300 a month? The same question was already being asked with the $200 a month ChatGPT. That I use AI every single day. This is my job. I teach people how to use it. I have used the $200 a month subscriptions to kick the tire, find out why they're useful, and to be able to recommend them to people. I have cancelled most of those subscriptions because there is no need for them compared to the $20 a month. And I've seen this with a lot of creators in AI space as well. Even these people who live and breathe AI do not necessarily need the $200 a month. So I doubt we need a $300 a month XAI Grok subscription. I might be wrong. Maybe there's some super users who need this. I don't see the need for it. So I'm going to hop over to some questions. I'm still playing around with Grok. From my personal, entirely subjective view, it seems fine. It seems perfectly good. The problem with that is there's no reason to pull me away from ChatGPT, which already has history about me. So there's a moat there. It has a lot of knowledge, so it can give me better answers. And Claude, where I have most of my projects. So it's not enough to just be as good or slightly better than the previous model. You need to be so good that you're going to pull people away from ChatGPT, pull people away from Claude. I'm not sure it's going to happen. Now, there will be people in my comments, especially on Twitter, who will be telling me why Grok is the best. Fantastic. If you like Grok, fantastic, great for you. I think for most people out there, this news is not that important.